Welcome to episode 195 of the weekly Shared Security Show. And joining me this week are my two co hosts. First, I'd like to introduce the Scottish professional footballer, Mr. Scott Wright.
I guess.
Hello, Scott.
Thanks.
And the basketball superstar who also became the 55th mayor of Sacramento, California, Kevin Johnson.
Yeah, totally. That's totally who I am. I'm well known for my sports ability.
Me too.
You are. Yeah. Both of you are. I can't believe you're really that famous. But if you do Google Scott Wright and Kevin Johnson, those are the first results that you get when you Google those two names.
If you add the word security after Kevin Johnson, you get the Microsoft person who is like their CISO.
Yeah, there's a CISO who has my name too. But yeah, it's...
yeah. But we're not as bad as. Have you ever talked to John Strand about his Google problems?
No, I haven't.
So John Strand, great guy, love John to death. John, Black Hills. For the longest time, if you Google search John Strand, the first result was an underwear model. And so John would always make the joke that he was not the underwear model, blah, 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 blah. And he worked for years to beat the underwear model in Google search engine optimization. And then January 6th of this year, he finally did it. And he was all excited. He's like, yes, I got it. You know, if you Google search John Strand, I'm the first one. And January 6th of this year, that was ruined forever because the underwear model was one of the jackholes who broke into, invaded, whatever you want. I don't know what you want to call it because I can't think of anything I can say strong enough of how stupid I think it was and horrible. But the underwear model went into the Capitol on January 6th. Yeah, so John Strand from Black Hills will never beat that for search engine optimization.
But now he can say, not the John Strand that broke into the Capitol.
It's broken into the Capitol, right? Like I am a pen tester, but not that jackhole.
Not that one. Wow. That's amazing. And for those of you on the YouTube stream, or if you haven't checked out the YouTube videos, this is a great time to do so because Kevin's got probably the best background I have seen
since my Batman background, probably.
Let's be very clear. What I like about this, if I may say so myself, this is not a virtual background.
No.
This is my actual Gamorrean costume. I added LED eyes to it, so it's blinking and looking around, and they are the best $45 I've spent in a very long time.
It's really amazing, and it's kind of freaking me out a bit. So yeah.
So I got onto a call earlier with some of the staff here, and a few of them were like, "That's creepy." I'm done. That's creepy, which just encouraged me to leave them in.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
exactly.
So
we've got some fun topics this week. Lots going on. And of course, this first story is meant to really anger Kevin just a little bit.
I'm so glad that this is the standard you look for, is how irritable Kevin can be.
It's all for ratings, Kevin.
It's all for ratings.
Exactly. Our Nielsen ratings just keep going up and up every episode because of these topics. And so, of course, the clickbait that gets me every time, or the headlines, right? The next big cyber threat isn't ransomware, it's Killware, and it's just as bad as it sounds.
Oh my god!
Did you watch the video?
Yes, I did.
So yeah. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but he's the Homeland Security Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas.
Mayorkas. Yeah.
Okay. Here, right off the bat, and I don't say this lightly, he needs to be fired. Done.
Let's just get right to it.
Get rid of him. And here's why we need to get rid of him. If you are the Homeland Security Secretary, and I want to be very clear, this is not political. I don't care what party he's with. I don't care who appointed him. And we will ignore my distrust of many things.
Of the government?
Right? Yeah. So ignoring both of those things, if you are the Homeland Security Secretary and you're on an interview and the person interviewing says, "What keeps you up at night?" This should not be a stumper. Right? Like, like he struggled to answer the question.
He really did. Yeah.
And the fact that he was surprised by that question tells me he should not be the Homeland Security Secretary.
Yeah, it's a little disturbing.
Yeah. And I mean, he really struggled with it. And then it was like, everything. Bite me. This is the
What do you
second
mean by
reason you
everything?
should be. Yeah, if everything keeps you up at night, you're incompetent. I mean, like, my
You can't do your job
goodness.
because you're not sleeping, obviously. So
Exactly, right? And this doesn't even get into the asinineness of Killware as a clickbait title. I'm only focusing on the sheer incompetence of the head of Homeland Security who wasn't prepared for the question, what threat worries you?
yeah,
My goodness.
as I
Jess,
said,
you were right. You were absolutely right. This article is just going to trigger me. I'm just like,
I know
I
it
had
triggers
to,
you, Kevin. I
I
know.
had to watch the video multiple times because I just kept getting so frustrated. I thought I was missing stuff because I was irritable. No, he was that bad at being interviewed about this.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess I'm a little more annoyed too with just the article, how it says, because we've had things like the Oldsmar, Florida water system hack, and they mentioned obviously solar winds and Colonial Pipeline, these
yeah.
are all leading to killware, which is, going to kill people. And to be specific, I mean, killware, or the term, whatever we want to call that people have been killed by
Yep.
malware and malicious things like that in the
Was it
past.
was it last week or the week before that the article was about the baby that died at the
Yeah.
hospital because the hospital was dealing with
just last week.
ransomware?
Right.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not downplaying the badness that can happen with attacks, but the fact that they brought up SolarWinds tells me every bit of this was to get us to click on the
It
headline
is.
and read it. The Oldsmar water treatment plant was horrible. I mean, it was. Somebody broke in, they tried to change something, but instead of using it to like batter people and scare people, how about we point out the fact that it was detected? Look, I've worked with utilities. The fact that they detected that as well as they did and as fast as they did is impressive. This was goodness. Like yeah, they were vulnerable to stuff and that's bad and I hate that but they caught it. They detected it. They solved it. Nobody was hurt. Instead of using it to spread ads, because let's be very clear, Yahoo News and USA Today, all you are is adware, but instead say, oh my God, look at this great thing that happened. They detected this and stopped a horrible thing. This is good. Let's encourage that behavior. Let's fix the vulnerabilities, all that kind of stuff. But my goodness. So we have a sucky Homeland Security secretary. We have USA Today, which I'm embarrassed to be from the same country that USA Today is from. And then we have Yahoo News, which, let's be honest, Yahoo wasn't relevant in 1998. So,
hey, I mean, Yahoo, what was it? Yahoo Chat? Wasn't that like the
oh man, no, ICQ
AOL?
is where it was at.
Okay. Yeah.
Yahoo Chat.
Sorry, I'm
Man.
dating myself. I guess.
We're old.
We are old.
Hey, I had a GeoCities site, I had MySpace, and I had Yahoo Mail.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, I don't think I ever had a GeoCities. I'm trying to think. I totally would have signed up, but I think I already had my Angel Fire account. So I didn't need...
Wow, that's old.
Wow.
Oh,
I can't believe I remember Angel Fire. Oh my goodness.
Next thing you're going to say is CompuServe.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Forget CompuServe. What about Prodigy?
Prodigy.
Yeah.
Was it Sears that ran Prodigy? Okay, this is okay. We're tangenting really bad. Here we go. And we're old.
Yeah. So I guess just the story, I think it's important that we, call out kind of this, sensationalism around, clickbaity type things that, unfortunately, there's regular people that are reading these stories, and some of them could literally be like freaking out right now, thinking that, oh crap, malware is going to kill me and my family and all these other things. And, where it takes, professionals like ourselves, right, that can talk about this, that this is really, there's not, of course, bad things can happen, people can die, but this isn't like the next big thing that we need to be worried about.
Yeah. Let's be very clear. We should already know that the article is horrible because their security expert is from the security firm Gartner.
Yeah, I
Oh, wait
wondered
a
about
minute. You
that
said
too.
security firm. Yeah,
it's what it says.
I know it does.
Like Mayorkas, private sector computer security experts warn that so-called blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 right? And then it says, Wham Voster. It's got to be a made-up name. Senior research director at the security firm Gartner. I think what they mean is company that you get to pay for reviews. So
You pay to play, yeah.
oh my goodness. If you want to talk to a security expert, there are enough security experts out there that you could talk to an actual one, not somebody from Gartner. Sorry. Again, USA Today.
Yeah.
Raising the bar for crap. And,
I'm so glad that Canadian journalism is probably so much better, isn't it, Scott?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Is there a Canada Today?
Canada Today. That's right. Yes. No, we have the
Canada Today.
Canada A Today. Exactly. Yeah, we have the Globe and Mail, which is national. So National Post.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
Very Globe and Mail sounds good.
Yeah, we
don't
don't
say Today. Like, really? How difficult was that name to come up with?
Are you looking for the very best products to protect your digital privacy? Well, Silent Pocket has everything you need with their patented product line of high-quality Faraday bags, backpacks, clutches, and wallets. Visit silentpocket.com today and receive 10% off your order by using discount code SHAREDSECURITY.
You want your organization to be secure and compliant and to have a healthy culture. But your employees' lack of awareness makes you vulnerable to data theft, fraud, and compliance penalties. It's frustrating that the boring, static training content that's being used today has failed to improve employees' ability to defend against cyber attacks. At ClickArmor, we know that without using gamification, it's extremely hard to get staff to understand how to avoid threats. Our gamified simulations and challenges have provided a 50% average improvement in thousands of employees' ability to spot phishing threats. Go to clickarmor.ca/sharedsecurity to get your free gamified phishing assessment for up to 500 employees. You'll see quickly how gamified simulations can help your team be more resilient and compliant and help avoid costly ransomware and fraud incidents. Let ClickArmor help you go from being an underappreciated, stressed out fall guy to being an innovative leader who's the catalyst for greater productivity in your organization.
So this next story, and I pulled this one out because it is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and I thought it's good to mention some things about passwords and password management, always a big topic. And 1Password, which is, I think, one of the most popular password managers, commercial password managers that's out there that a lot of people, a lot of organizations are using. They are releasing a new feature which addresses a pretty large problem, at least with friends and family. And, of course, we talk about sharing passwords as a big no-no, but people do it, and people actually have some valid reasons for doing it. And so this is now a mechanism within 1Password to securely share passwords using a link, and you don't have to have a 1Password account or login. You could share it with anybody, which I think is pretty cool. And it's called Hiss.
No,
I like the name of it. That was fun.
Not pissed.
Yeah.
How many live interviews are they going to have to correct people on the journalist? So
how do you pronounce that?
Yeah. What is this pissed thing?
Never mind. I was going to make a really inappropriate joke. I'm not going to make it. I'm done. Yeah. Here's my question. So I read this article, and I agree. Sharing passwords is a bad idea, but there are reasons to do it. You said there's also, let's be very clear, there's a number of situations where the system you use really is set up to require it. And when we talk about home use, right, Netflix comes to mind immediately. Like, I have a family account for Netflix, but we don't all have our own login. We have our own profiles, but it's all one set of.
That's a problem of the system itself, right? Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like, this is a system problem, the way we built it. And that's why I think we need to stop dodoing Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We need to start doing Cybersecurity Architecture Month and actually talk to the people who can change stuff.
That's an interesting way,
right? Like, stop. I've said this before. We've talked about this before. stop telling people to stop clicking on links. Tell developers to stop building systems that require us to click on links. And I think that this is the same thing. 1Password is solving the problem the systems have made.
Yeah.
But here's the part that really bothers me. I read this whole article, and I read it twice. Why do they have an entire paragraph about sharing corporate credentials in, like, based on research the company conducted, most workers reuse corporate credentials. What are you telling us? This is an easy way to do that? We could that paragraph just throws me off. Because let me be very clear, I don't want any of my employees sharing their credentials at work with other people. Now, again, we have systems that there are shared accounts with, the way the system is built, and that. But from a corporate perspective, you should not be using this. From a corporate perspective, you should be using actual password sharing, vaults and stuff like that, and pay for the damn account to share. Don't cheat the system. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a nice. I hesitate to say it's a secure way to share stuff. I know that's in the name, but we've not tested it. As far as I know, Tom, you haven't tested it, right? But it is called the Password Secure Sharing Tool, which I like. I'm a little upset that they didn't figure out some way to put the exclamation mark into the name, but like it's in the acronym. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a neat idea. I just I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, and it's all in the implementation too. I mean, you're trusting that a password manager company can build a secure password sharing facility, which isn't necessarily based on their original secure architecture for securing passwords with a master password and two-factor authentication. We don't really know. Do we know anything about how this is implemented, and can it be implemented securely in a way that an attacker couldn't find a way around it?
I will never say there's not a way for an attacker to get around, but I will say that I think from what we're reading here, it hasn't been released as far as I can tell, and I don't use 1Password. We use LastPass, but we used to use 1Password. And what I like about it is they say that you share it via a link, but you have to verify that you are the email address that it was shared, like that kind of stuff. I like that. I am curious about the marketing that's going to get tied to that, right? Like, you don't have a 1Password account, but you click the link shared by somebody else.
They may ask you.
Start getting spam about signing up for 1Password.
Not only that, but what about impersonation attacks, right? That say, this is somebody shared this password with you, and so then you use that as a phishing attack, right? So.
Oh, I'm definitely going to use it as a phishing attack. What are you talking about? Let's be very clear. I'm already using that phishing attack because password vaults let you share with people with accounts. Now we have to get Tom to start drinking bubbly. When you picked it up, like, yeah.
Wow, I'm not cool. Jeez.
No, you're not. This is how I stopped drinking soda.
Yeah.
I drank way too much soda, and finally I got sparkling water does it, because with a little bit of flavor and the bubbles make me feel
next
like
episode.
Somebody gave me carbonated mineral water the other day, and it was like, whoa, this is sweet, because bubbly has no sugar in it. It's just
right, yeah. So so I like the idea. And the next article is going to irritate me as well.
Here's another one to enrage you. Maybe not as much enraged as the first article, but study reveals Android phones can constantly snoop on their users.
Is that news?
Well,
the study
says computer.
So
that's something I kind of assumed from the beginning.
And I think it's interesting that they call out a couple foreign made Android devices, specifically Huawei. Which, I mean, we all know that that's, a Chinese company that has had a history of shady snooping and all kinds of things. But
here's what I want to know. I want the people in the UK to find out how much money their government paid to these researchers to release research that is so damn obvious that, like, Google phones send Google the IMEI number of a Google phone.
Breaking news.
Duh. And let me be very clear. It has to. to do the things we expect it to do. Right. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not saying that it's not privacy invading, and I'm not downplaying that. But we expect our phones to do certain things. That data has to go somewhere. It's why I laugh at all these jackholes that are like, oh man, I can't get vaccinated because they'll be able to track me. But I post that on Facebook from my Android phone that's snooping everything. And I just, every bit of this article, every bit of this research is, I don't know how long they took to come up with these results, but every bit of that time was wasted.
I may gently disagree with you on that.
I'm okay with that. You're wrong.
Okay.
Go on.
I would say that number one, it probably spread some awareness, right, of the issue, which we've always known about. But specifically in the article, they do talk about how there is no option to opt out of said tracking, which we've known for a long time, right? That's a major issue. And there are all of these third-party apps that are installed on these devices that you buy from AT&T and all wherever you get your phones from that are loaded with this crapware, just like when you buy a laptop, right? It's filled with Lenovo's or whoever's crap that does stuff, bogs your system down, sends crap to third parties. So I think it's a broader issue that, maybe just this little bit of research might get people to at least think about it. So I don't think it's
I agree with Tom. I think it definitely is worth re-raising the issue once in a while, because as some of us have kind of suspected for a long time that there are hooks in the OS that, whether any other vendors know about or app developers know about, that they could be easily doing stuff because they own the OS. And there's nobody really holding them to account. It's kind of like our distrust of the government surveillance system sometimes.
I totally. But here's my issue with that. This research doesn't actually call that.
That's fair.
Out.
Yeah.
It calls out like you guys are absolutely. I agree with everything you guys just said. We should be telling people this stuff. We should be reminding them. But this research doesn't do that. This research says, "Oh, hey, Google is tracking your IMEI." Yeah, they are. They have to.
That's not the risk.
Right. You're presenting a thing to the end user that the end user can't change. And if they do push enough stuff onto this, and Google does change that, guess what? Your phone is going to be less functional. You're going to lose capabilities you have right now that are bluntly important.
Well, is it anything different than what Apple has to do to make their phone work, right?
No, there's no difference there. And that's why I say this was a waste of time. If they really wanted to study privacy, they could have called out the software that gets added on, like what you just said, right? There's all these add-on softwares, right? They don't. They talk a little bit about, LinkedIn is installed in the phone and that captures data about the person without the person realizing it. Again, that I think it would be much more important, a much better usage of time and funding and whatever, to go out there and maybe research how a user can be anonymized, research how we can use the phones and get that functionality. To me, this is clickbait research. If the result of this research was, we know this is happening, we know this is being tracked, and here are ways to solve the problem while continuing to get features, then I would be okay with this research. But the research isn't that. The research came out and said, water's wet, cancer sucks, and the world is going to end. And we can't fix it. That's where my problem is.
I do agree with you that piece of there's no solutions. It's just, here's evidence. It's more of a, research study done by a university.
And let me be blunt. Those university people could do the research into solutions. They could do.
And some do, to be fair.
They do. I'm saying this one in particular is not. Yeah. I've seen lots of great research out there. I've seen lots of great, hey, here's what we can do to help fix this. Here's what we can do there. This is not it. And that irritates me. It's not as, you're right, it doesn't irritate me anywhere as near as the incompetent Homeland Security interview. And I'm not saying he's incompetent in anything else. I don't know if he's incompetent in anything else. He was definitely incompetent in that interview.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's interesting if you read the comments in that article, there's a lot of stuff that's being called out as well with the research. So you're not alone, Kevin. There's definitely some controversy there. 2 of
the responses came back. And let's be very clear. I like Google's answer. We can talk about Google and be bad mouthing them, but like, hey, we appreciate their work, but we disagree that this behavior is unexpected. It's how modern smartphones work. I mean, I hate to say it, they're right. We can disagree with that. It shouldn't work that way. But then I think the other one that's a really big one is I love that Lineage OS came back and said, wait a minute, you claim that we install the Google apps and we don't.
Yeah. Right.
And I went and looked. As far as I can tell, they don't. That's true. Yeah. So something else.
There's also there's the telcos, right, that have the deals or the privileges that app developers don't always have too, right? And so you can look at wasn't it? I can't remember the name. Was a mobile phone that was being given away for less than cost. Was it Blue something? 4 or 5 years ago. Anyway, I think it was not from North America, put it that way. I'm not sure where.
Okay. Oh, I think I remember that, where you could get it really cheap, but it had
there was a whole bunch of monitoring going on for your stuff.
Tracking stuff.
Yeah.
That was probably episode 49. I don't know what.
Way back.
It was a while ago. Well, but I mean, that's a normal, like, not to pick on any specific company, but I bought a Fire tablet this morning. And I had the option from Amazon to pay less, but have ads. And I could totally see people complaining and saying, "Oh, wait, now they're tracking me." Yeah, well, you
knew the deal.
And was that money? Was that money savings worthwhile? I don't know. Yeah. I paid for it without ads.
I actually like that approach, honestly, because at least they're being. I like that approach actually because at least they're being upfront with a consumer that, hey, here's your option.
And let's be very clear.
Privacy, no privacy.
When I went to buy it, they make it very obvious. Like, hey, look, this is an option, or this is, like, it's not hard. And I'm not saying that the without ads one doesn't track me I'm not claiming that. But it was good, in my opinion, how obvious they made it that you were going to spend $30 more for this reason. And it was $30. I just happened to that's what the price difference was this morning. I have no idea how much it is.
That's what your privacy is worth, folks.
You're only worth $30, Kevin.
$30, those ads.
All right, guys. Well, good conversation. I like it.
I think so.
It's tough to around. So yes, definitely. And so we'll be back, of course, next week with more controversial topics. Rage Kevin.
Keep him coming,
and to set him off. And yes, that's what we're like.
And you too can have your own Gamorrean guard with flashing eyes.
You can, yes.
Yeah. Well, and if anybody wants, those eyes are, like I said, they're $45. They're awesome.
Can you send us the link and I can put it in the show notes because someone
so Adafruit is who makes them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But Adafruit has been out of stock from them for like a decade. DigiKey is where I got them. Adafruit links to. I'll get you the link.
Yeah. I'm just thinking for like Halloween.
Yeah,
too.
Awesome.
It's kind of cool.
Oh, okay, so just to be very clear, they sell it as a mask, but it's not a mask that you can see through, right?
Okay.
Like it's I'll get you the link. No issue at all.
Awesome.
Thanks, folks.
All right, guys. Well, till next week. Thanks again for listening, everyone, and talk to you soon. That's all for this week's show. Be sure to follow the Shared Security Show on Twitter and Instagram for the latest news and show updates. If you like this episode, please hit that like and subscribe button, and please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast listening app. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for another episode of the Shared Security Show.